Hey there, Oz.
Hey there, Curtis.
Hey, what movie we watching this week?
To wrap up Kaiju Movie Month,
Mm,
we are going to watch a movie marriage of Honey, I Blew Up the Kid,
yeah.
plus a Bond girl,
Okay.
with a little bit of TMZ
Yeah.
and a little bit of Spaceballs. This week, we are watching Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Ooh, that's gonna leave a mark.
Oh yeah, I was looking for a finisher for that movie
Uh-huh.
marriage, and it didn't take me long once I saw like the satellite that I'm like, oh, it's a giant ball from space, a
Yep.
space ball.
Yep. There it is. Also,
Oh,
could have gone with Mega Maid.
I could have gone with Mega Maid,
Yeah.
but so yeah, welcome back, listeners and
Mm-hmm.
viewers, to another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme, this month
Mm-hmm.
being Kaiju Movie Month,
Yes.
and we satisfy it with a movie that meets the requirements. I'm one of your hosts, Oz,
I am the other host, Curtis.
and before we get rolling too long, we want to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers, Don S., Aaron A., Made to K, Melissa L., Colin K., and Lyle M. Thank you for your
Yes.
Kaiju level patronage.
Uh-huh. Your larger than life
Yeah.
presence.
That's right. So, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Yep. Yeah, this is our closer for the month. Yeah.
Like we were
Uh-huh.
talking pre-show, it's not a terrible movie.
It's not like tragically bad. It's
No,
definitely
no.
a relic of its era.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thankful that it was like an hour.
Yes.
Like,
66 minutes.
yeah.
And that was fine. Didn't need
Oh, yeah.
any more than that.
Yeah. It was one of those that you watch it, you're like, well, they made a movie. They made a functioning movie.
They made a movie.
It accomplished more than, say, like Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Like, this was more coherent
Mm-hmm.
of a film.
There was a loose plot thread.
There was a loose plot. But yeah, they went for some gimmicks that didn't they don't have legs.
No.
Almost 70 years later. So well, the character list of this movie, the cast, is not very big at all.
Relatively short. Yes, it's your week, so I'll take the cast, you take the plot.
Yep.
We've got Nancy Fowler Archer. She is the lead character, played by Allison Hayes. She is the titular 50-foot woman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She comes from the Tony Hopkins School of Acting.
She does. It's all on display. It's all right there.
You're not going to miss anything.
Her husband, Harry Archer, is played by William Hudson. He's a philanderer, folks. He's got ladies on the side. He's gaslighting his wife left and right. Not a good person.
Town's totally fine with it.
Yes, yeah, and the town lets him get away with it. Yeah, the town completely enables him. One of his honeys on the side is Honey Parker,
the referenced Bond girl in My Movie Marriage,
who I think played by Yvette Vickers, who if I read things right, I think she was in Playboy at one point also.
Probably, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit of a Monet for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get too close. There's some cracks. Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like she's the opposite of appearance of Nancy Archer, and then you get close and you're like, her.
Well, hey,
whatever.
Floats your boat, Harry.
You're right.
Yep. We have Dr. Isaac Cushing, played by Roy Gordon. He's
better than Dr. Isaac Yankem.
That's true, but I was literally before we came on. I've been watching in like 3 to 5 minute chunks. 50 fascinating facts about WWE in the 1980s on What Culture Wrestling.
Okay.
And they literally, it's funny you mentioned Dr. Isaac Yankem, because they literally just referenced Dr. Isaac Yankem. Even though that was a 90s character,
right?
They referenced it just with some of the bad 80s characters that there were.
It just shows the importance of sticking with it until the right character fits, because of course it was Kane only early, and I
Yeah.
don't think it's
Like,
just, which Kane itself is also just a ridiculous character, but
yeah, oh yeah, but it still somehow works just because the
yeah,
commitment to the bit and
yeah,
yeah, it was like
way better than
yeah,
Dr. Isaac Yankem.
it's like Glenn Jacobs, I think
Yeah,
is the name of Kane and Dr.
yeah,
Isaac Yankem. He was a talented guy,
no,
and
yeah,
I'm glad they recognized his talent, although his politics are a little left to be desired. But
yeah. Well,
we'll just leave that there.
I'm sure yeah. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah. We have a colleague of Dr. Cushing's, Dr. Heinrich von Loeb, played by Otto Waldis, who's come in because the patient is now a kaiju and we need
Yeah,
help. We've got local law enforcement as well. We have Sheriff Dubbit, played by George Douglas, as well as Deputy Charlie, played by Frank Chase. And
so do sheriffs go by their last name and deputies by their first, or is the sheriff's first name Dubbit, or is the deputy's last name Charlie? Like,
I think they're both named Charlie Dubbit.
oh,
But to differentiate, that's how they publicly identify
it's
themselves.
junior senior.
Yeah, it's
Family business.
yeah, it's a father son tandem.
That's right. It's parental law enforcement.
And then I'll mention Jess Stout, Nancy's butler, very loyal butler. I
Very
would say.
loyal.
Yes, best by far the most moral character in the movie, played by Ken Terrell.
Yeah.
Yes, he was the moral compass of the film.
Yeah.
Jess.
Yeah. He definitely was.
Yes. Again,
Keep going with characters so I don't have to get to the plot.
Well, there's only one more on IMDb. And that's Michael Ross as Tony the bartender, as well as quote unquote the giant alien.
The giant alien.
The giant alien.
Uh-huh.
It's funny how they shot some of those scenes too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain the technical way they did it, but it was clearly 1958.
Some of it was shot low angle,
Mhm.
just to make them look taller.
Sure.
But most of what it was is just superimposed film. We're gonna film this guy. Today we would do it like with green screen.
Yeah.
But we're gonna film this guy against a background of nothingness, and then lay that on top of our setting so that he looks larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 1958, folks.
That's true. Yeah,
Don't have too high expectations when you're going into this movie.
No. All right.
Let's get into the thick plot.
This movie kicks off with a radio broadcast or television broadcast. Right. We got our announcer. We don't know where we are. We don't know who we're dealing with.
Nope.
All we know is that there have been multiple sightings of giant, like fireball looking things.
like a big sphere.
Yes, these giant like balls from space or whatever, all around the world.
Giant space balls,
if you will. Yeah. And so
President Scroob, salute.
Right. So he does this TV announcer does the quick math and realizes that based on the location of where these have been found, it's on a trajectory for California.
It's coming here, folks.
That's right. So be ready.
Yeah.
Cut to California.
Yes. Cut to California.
Cut to, more specifically, Nancy Archer, who we find out as the movie rolls along is worth millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
She is the wealthiest person in town,
I think, in the world.
Probably the world.
Yeah, she actually founded SpaceX.
That's right. And her politics also to be
also to be desired.
A little questionable. But Nancy here is she's got marital troubles. She's got some emotional instability. Yep. She's a drinker, and she's leaving the bar. And she's I'm driving home. I'm fine. I'm not drunk. I'm driving home. And okay, go for it. As she's driving through the desert, she comes across the space ball,
the big ball from space,
and it is. And this is. I'm guessing. I didn't look up the history of the term UFO. But this was never referenced as a UFO in the movie. It was always just a satellite.
Yes.
So
And they're afraid of calling it what it is.
Yeah, so she comes across
Well, again,
satellite.
she owns SpaceX, and
That's
so
true.
they're
knows.
trying
Yeah,
to
all right,
trying
yeah.
to sell it as that.
Yeah, this looks like one of my like internet balls or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's also what SpaceX calls them.
Internet
Prepare to
balls.
launch a new wave of internet balls.
It's true. Prepare the Wi-Fi ball. So she comes across giant satellite ball in the desert. No one's around. It's very dark, but very well lit desert night. And she screams as one would, and continues screaming as one would. And
boy, does she scream!
And
by the way,
we see a giant paper mache hand come from out of frame and reach for her, and she runs off. She just runs all the way back to town.
She does, heels and everything.
Yep. And so
she screams, "Harry, help me!" as she's running too.
That's true. The husband that she left miles back in town, Harry, help me. He who has his face buried in Honey Parker's neck looks up like,
Harry was helping himself at that moment.
He was oh, he's just so gross, such a gross character.
Not a nice person.
So Nancy runs back to town, and of course, because she's the whole town knows that she's like the loony in town.
She's unstable. She's documented drinking problems,
and so
it's just Nancy being Nancy.
So she runs back, and what she kind of knows sounds like a ridiculous story. I came across a giant satellite out in the desert, and there was a giant, and he was reaching for my necklace. He was reaching for me, and I ran all the way back to town.
It's her gigantic diamond necklace.
And so
it's the baseball diamond from the Great Muppet Caper.
It was the baseball diamond.
It was the baseball diamond.
And so no one believes her story, because they know, oh, you're probably just drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm not. Believe me.
Harry would believe me.
Right. So they're like, let's get you home, Mrs. Archer. Somebody go find my husband. Well, they know exactly where her husband is.
Everybody knows where he is.
He's at the only other set in town.
Not location or locale. The other set.
It's either we're inside the Archer home, or we are outside of the hotel bar. Yeah. And so he's, they send the deputy. He goes in, taps Mr. Archer on the shoulder. Of course, like I said, he is face deep in Honey Parker's neck, on a bench in this bar. Like, he's not hiding this affair.
No, everyone is enabling this.
Everybody knows that this is happening. So he's like, hey, your wife is, she's spouting nonsense, and et cetera, et cetera. And so Honey Parker's just straight like, like, why don't you just kill her?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, why don't you just kill her? He's like, well, so his plan is, let me just be the good husband, while she's around. Eventually she'll lose it. I'll get her committed to what he calls the booby hatch.
Yes, I have that down as well. Then you got her in the booby hatch.
Right, we'll get her in the booby hatch.
I think I learned about that in my anatomy and physiology class.
I did too. I think I don't know if Harry Archer is he's thinking of two different booby hatches when he's in this movie. So
I think that's an article of clothing.
I think so. Yeah,
the booby hatch.
Call them brassieres, I believe. So his plan is, let's just get her committed. And then naturally I will get full control of her $50 million.
Yes,
because that's how it works.
That's exactly legally that's how it works.
Yeah, your wife is crazy, you get her money.
It's called the booby hatch clause.
It's true. Yeah,
there's legal precedent for it.
Yeah, it's the booby clause. So because again, Nancy, we did see her see something.
Yes. And we know it was real because we as the audience saw it.
And we saw it on the news that apparently no one in town listened to.
No one.
So Nancy basically makes a deal with Harry. Hey, go out to the desert with me. Let's look for this flying satellite. And if we don't find it, I will go back to the booby hatch. Like, I'll go back to the sanatorium
Yes.
if we find nothing.
Take more of my brain out through my nose.
Yeah. So they go back out there and they find the spacecraft.
Yep.
Proving she's not nuts. And we see for the first time the bartender step out of the
Yep.
yeah, we see the giant alien emerge from the space ball, from the satellite. Harry fires some shots at the giant. They don't hit it. They don't have any effect because it's superimposed film and he's not really there.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought this was all done on location.
Yeah, yeah, there's no doctored footage here.
They hired a giant and everything.
Harry Harry does what any sound husband would do. He just bails, leaving Nancy out in the desert with this giant.
This movie.
So they find Nancy later. She's on the roof of her pool house because, again, she's a multimillionaire, very delirious, and now we got to bring in the physicians. So because she's losing it, bring in Dr. Cushing.
Yeah, some of the language in this movie too, like Harry tells Nancy at one point, "You pulled a boner tonight, and you know it."
Yeah, it's like,
again, I acknowledge different generations have different sayings, colloquialisms,
vernacular changes over time.
Yes, language changes, words can evolve, but it's still funny.
Right. We've in this movie we've talked about boobies and boners, and none of them are sexual.
I put in a sub note there. Good thing it wasn't Attack of the 50-Foot Men after that.
That's true. Oh, that would have been
yes, that
would have different kind of film.
Yes, the cover art would have been a lot different as well.
A lot more shadow.
What's blotting out the sun?
Oh God, we're the sun girl. It's an agricultural film. Our crops won't grow because of the giant.
Orion Samuelson produced.
It's true, yeah. So Dr. Cushing comes in and he's commenting. He's like, she's got scratches on her neck. Like, I think she was exposed to radiation because she's got radiation scratches.
That's what radiation does, by the way.
Claws its way in.
Yes, it does, literally.
And so, of course, Harry's now realized in this particular instance, Nancy's not crazy.
Yeah.
He's still not a good man. He's still not a good husband.
Yeah, he still is trying to take advantage of the situation.
He still wants to get his money, but he's like, okay, well, I don't know if the committing her is going to work out because she's not crazy in this.
Well, she even calls him out. She calls him a gigolo and a parasite, and even says, "You're after my money," but she just can't live without him.
No, like a lot of like in the door frame pounding it as she's like, "Oh, I can't live without you, Harry. I love you so much. I love you so much. But
I love you, Harry.
Oh.
Why?
But why is he after my diamond?"
Yeah, what's it called? It's called the Star of India.
Yeah. The Star of India that apparently the whole world knows about because he takes the diamond and shows Honey, and Honey goes, "It's the Star of India." Like, everybody knows that diamond.
Everybody knows the Star of India.
Yeah, by sight. Like, oh, that's the Star of India. So Honey, who is honestly, I think she's a worse character than Harry.
They're both bad.
Because Honey's still like, well, you're still gonna kill her, right?
Yeah.
To be with me. Which, Harry's like, I'm already with you. Like, it's not, I've got everything that I want. I've got my wife's money and not having to deal with my wife, but I also have you. Like, what?
Yeah.
She's not threatening to leave him. There's no ultimatum. It's just you're going to kill your wife, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if I do, I'm now a murderer, which is a little worse than an adulterer.
Do it for me, Harry.
Yeah.
Me, Honey.
Yeah. Do it for me and my tiny jaw. And so, she's egging him on. Like, why don't you inject her with a sedative, but do too much so it kills her. So that's the plan because Harry Harry doesn't use his own brain for anything in this
No.
movie.
Well, I mean, she called it out earlier what he uses.
Yeah. And so he sneaks up to her room to give her this sedative and then realizes very quickly he doesn't have a dose strong enough as she has grown to a giant size.
Yep, that paper mache hand.
Yes, that same paper mache hand is coming from off-screen left, and it's just waving around, and Harry naturally reacts in pure horror, like, my wife. Did she grow like? Did she grow like all at once? Because if her arm grew to that size, one would think the rest of her body would also grow proportionally.
Yes.
Which means, how is she still being held upstairs? Like, her feet would have, like, everything would have bust through the walls of this
Correct.
home.
Yeah, if her hand is that big.
Yeah.
If she's really 50 feet.
Right. That house isn't 50 feet wide. Like, so.
She balled herself up.
Fetal position on the bed.
Well, I mean, it is called space balls.
That's true. Yeah. I often wondered that too. How did that giant alien fit that satellite?
He just curled up.
So Cushing brings in Dr. Von Loeb because he specializes in giant people. I guess
it's his PhD.
It's my PhD in gigantism.
There's a great Simpson. One of my favorite Simpsons episodes of all time is the one where Homer they form a company softball team. And to beat the neighbor town's softball team, Burns hires like 9 Major League Baseball ringers.
Oh, right. Yep.
Including Ken Griffey Jr., who he gets hooked on nerve tonic, and he develops gigantism. Like at one point, his head is like 3 times as big.
I'd still watch Ken Griffey Jr. hit with a giant head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Keep your eye on the ball. So bring a doctor. Well, now we got 2 doctors trying to diagnose how we're going to treat this giant.
Two men of science.
Yeah, we're going to treat this giant. So the goal is, well, let's keep her in a coma. Let's give her enough morphine that just keeps her knocked out.
Yep.
And then we'll chain her up. And while we wait for the authorities, they reference the authorities. I don't know if there are any authorities in this issue, but
I mean, there's Charlie and Dibbit.
That's true. I've missed out on sheriff and deputy quite a bit, but they don't matter in this film. The only thing they really do is run errands. Like, they send messages. Go find my husband, or it's just they really don't do anything in this movie.
Yeah, Charlie is really like an errand boy.
Yeah. And so we've also got the butler, who is very loyal to Nancy.
Yes, to his credit.
He's a very loyal butler to Nancy. And he's not a big fan of Harry because of his behavior.
Yeah, he knows. Everybody knows.
Yeah, so Jess, the butler, teams up with the sheriff because we got to figure out what's going on. They come across some giant footprints, which at first, the first time they saw one, I honestly thought it was like a shallow grave that they had dug, because it wasn't really footprint shaped. I thought, oh, did Harry dig this shallow grave? He's going to kill his wife and dump her in this grave. And then I actually paid attention, and we're like, oh, no. They're explaining it all to me right now. It's giant footsteps. So Sheriff, Dubbit, and Jess follow these footprints, and they end up at the alien satellite,
the space
ball. They end up back at Spaceball. They go inside Spaceball because curiosity is the only thing moving the plot in this movie.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's where they find Nancy's, Star of India diamond,
as well as several other diamonds,
along with a lot of other diamonds. And that's where they're like, wait a minute, the diamonds are powering the satellite.
Yep. It's like clean coal.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, if you compress coal enough, it becomes a diamond.
It's true.
So there's your science.
Yeah. Science.
Hey, honey, I'm out of gas. So just throw my ring in the tank.
Right, just throw it in there. It's like Mr. Fusion.
By the way, I think we just solved the energy crisis.
I think we did.
We did.
We are already doing lab created diamonds and selling them at real diamond prices. We could solve the energy crisis by just throw the diamonds in your gas tank.
I mean, we don't have to open up Alaska for drilling.
No,
we just need to go to Hellsberg.
That's true. Yeah, like, K Jewelers is where I'm going to start filling.
I know,
up.
Right?
It'd be a little more expensive, but I bet the gas mileage is better.
Worth it. Totally worth it.
Definitely worth it.
And we don't have to destroy the environment.
And we don't have to, blood diamonds and we'll just do lab created diamonds and
just go to K Jewelers.
K Jewelers has got it. Oh, let's see here. So morphine induced coma. Sheriff and Jess are on the satellite. They do come face to face with the giant, because the inside of this space ball is much larger than one would think.
Yep,
it's like Loaded Weapon 1.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going to go.
Emilio Estevez's trailer.
Yep, complete with like Roman style columns.
Yeah, he's got columns and hard tile floors,
giant wet bar.
Huge foyer.
Where are you going? Nowhere. Just taking an unmotivated butt in a moonbeam walk.
So Sheriff and Jess, they figure out the jewels are used as a power source for this ship. Guys, the alien and spaceship matter nothing in this movie.
No,
nothing.
No,
like we almost like we come across this find, like, oh, the diamonds are powering the spaceship. It never comes up again.
No,
the satellite,
doesn't matter.
The giant human inside this UFO never comes up again.
Nope.
Like, it doesn't matter. Sheriff and Jess run from Spaceball. Nancy wakes up from her morphine-induced coma,
screaming for Harry.
Right, screaming, like garbled screaming for Harry. Like, right, it's like those kids' microphones with like the coil inside that make it vibrate. It's like that's what they had her yelling through. I think that the nurse was an understudy of Allison Hayes in this film, because
she had a good scream too.
She had a good scream.
Got her shoulders into it, everything.
Yeah. Right. Like ran out of breath and then took a deep one and screamed again. Like
complete with like hands on the side of face and everything.
Yeah. Not running away though.
No,
I'm frozen in terror.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Couldn't move a muscle.
Nope, I can't. All I could do is scream in my shoulders.
Except for her hands. Those
my hands and my shoulders are the only thing that could move. So she's, like you said, she's calling for Harry. And Harry is, of course, with Honey Parker. Because
where else would he be?
That's the only place he goes, is with Honey Parker. And I'll give this I mean, it's a 1958 movie, so they don't go too far with like the sexuality, there's not strong sexual content in this film.
No adult situations.
No adult situations. But it is fun to almost imagine that like this is as far as Harry ever goes with Honey Parker.
He's just rounded second base.
Because it's like she has a hotel room upstairs. They are never together in the hotel room, like romantically. They're only romantically together on that same seat in the bar. That's it.
Well, maybe they're exhibitionists.
I guess so.
That's what.
Just he's only hitting singles, and like that's it. I mean, Honey's like, I was
infield singles at that.
Yeah, exactly. And Honey's like, I was in Playboy, right? And he's like, it's fine. Like, I don't need that. I'm a eunuch. And so Nancy wakes up, and again, because she's Alice in Wonderland herself into huge proportions.
Yep.
Tears the roof off the mansion from the outside somehow.
It's science.
Yeah, science. Snuck out through the window and then tore the roof off the mansion. She is dressed in a bikini, which is basically
Like the bed sheet.
It's just the bed sheets.
It just clung to her just the right way.
Yeah, it's like, who wrapped her up as she got larger? Like,
those fitted sheets were really something in the 50s.
That's true. Like, I'm sure Harry come in and he's like, what about the booby hatch? And she's like, well, she's too big for the booby hatch, but we've got these sheets.
Jess was a really prepared butler.
Yeah, he was loyal and dedicated.
In the event that my employer ever grows to 50 feet in her bed,
I have California King sheets, right?
Yes.
and they're ready. It would have taken a lot of sheets. Yeah. Honestly, if she's 50 foot tall, like a single sheet or two, like these were very large, like fabric tents that she's wrapped up in. Anyway, she's covered in these sheets and she's out to find her husband.
She's out to get Harry.
By the way, 66-minute movie. We don't see the 50-foot woman until like 9 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in suspense the whole time.
The whole time. Like, oh, is her whole body going to be paper mache or just her right arm? She goes to the bar, which of course her steps are like earthquakes.
Yeah.
And she's hollering for Harry. Harry kind of vaguely looks up from Honey's, neckline as she rips the roof off the bar, sees Harry and reaches in to grab him. Honey flees and like hides under a table. In the wreckage, the ceiling falls on top of that table, killing Honey Parker.
Yep, she's dead.
Died from internal injuries, as there was not a drop of blood on this woman. No wounds, no lesions, no bruises, just crushed. So Nancy reaches in and offers her paper mache hand to Harry, who grabs it and holds on, because otherwise this illusion won't work, and pulls him out. And so, again, he's tried to shoot her, because Deputy Charlie was also in the bar because he's running errands. Again, the gunshots have no effect on her. Earlier in the sheriff tells Deputy Charlie to, like, I don't remember how he phrased it, but basically grab the shotgun. So
call it the riot gun.
There it was, the riot gun. I knew there was a phrase. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yep, that's a good implication there as well.
Grab the riot gun. Yeah. And so Nancy's got Harry as she's gonna just walk away, I suppose. And they're shooting at her. It's not really working at all. But then the sheriff, she happens to be standing right by like a giant like power transformer, which you see in the poster.
Yeah.
And deputy or the sheriff shoots the transformer, which blows up and kills her and also kills Harry.
Yep.
Cut to credits. Like,
Dr. Cushing says she's finally got Harry all to herself.
That's right. He's looking at like Dr. Von Loeb as they share this like medical, like, well, she's fine. It's the looks like beauty has killed the beast kind of, it's this silly King Kongian, like, she's finally got Harry all to herself. Like, there was a massive woman that just wreaked damage and killed 2 people, and you guys are like, well, all in the day's work. Yeah. And that's the movie, guys. Like, that's
Attack of the 50-foot woman.
Attack of the 50-foot woman. I expected more attacking.
Yeah, there was really only one attack.
Yeah, and it was very short-lived.
There was a lot of gaslighting.
Including us being gaslit from this movie.
Yeah.
You guys want to see a 50-foot woman attack things? Yeah. Well, watch for 57 minutes before it shows up. A little gaslighting there.
50-foot booby hatch.
Yeah.
All right, hey folks, every week Oz and I come up with our own unique rating to describe the movie we've been yapping about. In this case, 1958's Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm giving this 5 misleading posters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What are you giving it?
Let's go with 47 spinning globes.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I forgot the anchor man, because this was
Yeah.
all handheld television.
Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah.
love the news bits in this
Oh, I
movie.
did too. I'll let you get to it because I
Yeah,
didn't even mention the TMZ reference.
uh-huh. All right. Well, hey, every week, folks, Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews to tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well. In this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, my friend, what is your outside insight?
I have two
Yep.
here.
Let's hear them.
They're both short. First one is all these come from Amazon. Both these come from Amazon. This is a 5-star review of this film. Left in June of 2023. Beautiful quality restoration. Okay. I waited for this to come out on Blu-ray for years, and I was not disappointed. If this was a restoration, it looks beautiful, and it fills the entire screen. No widescreen or no full screen. Exactly.
What?
Thank you, because that was where I was like, what?
Yeah. No widescreen or full screen.
Fills the entire screen. No widescreen or no full screen.
Okay. It's a screen door.
It fills the entire screen, but it's not full screen.
Nope.
Like, okay. And this one is left in March 2023, 5 stars as well. It says, a good movie without the politics.
What politics?
I don't know. That's just that. It's like, even if it had 1958 politics, so what? Like,
okay.
It's a good movie without the politics.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't bring up Harry Truman.
Right, no kidding. Oh man, this movie would have been worse if you mentioned the Bay of Pigs.
I don't like Ike.
It's about time we get a movie that's not about WW2. Yeah, but a good movie without the politics. And 4 people found that helpful.
Yeah, it's good for those 4 people.
I'm sure those 4 people are like, "Ooh, just what I've been looking for."
Man, a movie that doesn't have politics.
Yeah. And it's not full screen or widescreen.
Or widescreen. You just watch it in your mind.
Yeah. Or in fact, there's no screen at all.
It's just a mental projection.
Yeah, it's like the giant in this movie.
Yeah,
yeah, it's just superimposed. It's a hologram is what this movie is.
Just need a lot of steam to see it.
That's right. It's just a holograph. So, all right. Well, those are my 2 outside insights. What do you got?
I got one as well, although it kind of reads like 2, so I'll take a little pause halfway through. 10 out of 10, as always, from the Internet Movie Database. This is left from TRZ 1951 in June of 2018 with the subject line, I love it. I missed this movie during its first run at my good old Dundee, Illinois Main Street Theater, pretty close to my residence. But a few years later, it showed up on St. Louis, Missouri television when I was about 11. My parents were abed, and when Allison came on scantily clad, I thought, Mom, Dad, should I be watching this? Steamy stuff. Thank God they didn't wake up and impose censorship.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, it goes back to that boner line from before.
No kidding. And the booby hatch.
Yeah, the booby hatch, yeah. and then it continues. Someone previously, tongue-in-cheek, I'm sure, mentioned this was his or her favorite movie along with Citizen Kane. I had the same thought, but I've got to be in the mood for Citizen. I'm always in the mood for Attack.
Oh, that's gross.
This was a formative movie. Something tells me that this is a male.
And a very old male.
Yes,
if they missed the first run in 58.
Well, again, the person's screen name is TRZ 1951, so I got a feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm always in the mood.
Always in the mood for Attack.
If you know what I mean. Hey. All right, folks, it's that point in the show you've all been waiting for, the Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first good is, and I apologize if I've stolen one of yours.
Go for it.
Just the news anchor.
Oh, I love the news anchor.
It's unnecessary.
Yes.
Which is what makes it so much fun, because the guy's giving it his all. Like, it's just, It's just, and it's so like, there's no panic. It's just several UFOs have been spotted and they're on a trajectory for California. Like, what do you think, Nancy? Like, it just
let's cut the Joe with a chopper with traffic.
Exactly. Like, it's just, but it was like, it was just so like
Just
perfectly,
matter of fact. Yeah.
not only matter of fact, but just perfect, like late 50s of like, I'm the coolest guy you've ever seen. Like, it's just,
he spins the globe,
walks over. It's just, he knows it's like the cameras are on me and I'm gonna milk it. Like,
yes.
I loved it.
There's that scene where he like gaslights, like he's talking directly to the lead character.
Right. And that was my TMZ reference of just, we're just, it's just so conversational. It didn't even feel like newsworthy at that one where, he's talking right to Nancy Archer. It was very, I almost put Superman on mine because it was like Lex Luthor piping over the airways to talk directly to Superman. But I didn't. So my second good is the full use of the paper mache arms and hands. I'm sure it probably hit a little harder in 1958 before high definition to where you could see the glue, like, the glue lines, but still, I'm like, good for you. I have all the respect in the world for filmmakers that are willing to just make it work. Like, like they're all adults. Everyone on set is an adult in this film. There are no children in the cast. You obviously no children behind the scenes, but it's like, as a group of adults, they're like, I guess we're just have to do giant paper mache hand. And all the other adults are like, okay, I can act with that. Like, it just, I love that level of dedication to think like, when the cameras aren't rolling, how are you guys handling this? There was a movie that came out back in the early 90s, I believe it was, called Tammy and the T-Rex.
Okay. It vaguely rings a bell.
It has a very young Denise Richards and a very young Paul Walker.
Yeah.
And the entire movie, as I've heard about this on a couple of different podcasts, the entire premise of this movie come about was the screenwriter, producer, director, I'm sure is all the same guy, but he had an opportunity to get his hands on an animatronic T-Rex for like 13 days.
And we've got to make a movie.
That's exactly what he did. It was going to be shipped somewhere, and there was like a 2-week window where he could use it. And he wrote the script, hired the crew, hired the cast, and filmed a movie in this 2-week span. And it's like, it's fun. I mean, it would be right up our alley of just stupid fun. But just to see that level of creativity and that level of like, I don't even care if I fail. I just want to do this. I want to complete this project.
I want to make a movie.
I have a lot of respect for that. Like, if I wait for an A+ effort, I may never do it. So screw it. Let's go with a C+.
Take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah. And that's the whole original line from that movie is, I got this T-Rex. What am I going to do with it?
It's like I'm not going to make a movie.
Right. Yeah. And in the movie, like, it was just kind of synopsis, because I don't see it necessarily hitting our themes anytime soon. But like, Paul Walker gets killed early on. His brain gets transplanted into this T-Rex. And so Paul Walker is the T-Rex and Denise Richards is his girlfriend. Rampage ensues.
Yep.
It really is more fun than it should be. Like, it's stupid fun, but it's that same level of fun of like, if you're going to make a movie just because you got this T-Rex, then you probably have some really bizarre things going on in the film. Mad scientists and just dumb stuff. So
lots of beakers.
Right. Exactly. And they all smoke. And so that's where the respect for this comes in. It's like, hey, we want to make this movie about a 50-foot woman. Let's just make a giant hand out of paper mache.
It's a true DIY effort.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. Yeah. My third good is the effort out of every guy in this film. a little like tongue-in-cheek dramatic to watch, but they're given their effort. So A effort out of all the guys in this film.
Okay.
Those are my three goods. What do you got?
Oh God, for my first one, I'm gonna go with just the fact that movie's only 66 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They
Perfect.
Yes, they knew what they had, and they did not need any more than that. My second,
Even then, there's a lot of extra stuff in this 66 minutes
there
that doesn't
is,
need to be there.
and they probably could have been cut down to 36 if you ask me. But
It's
yeah,
like, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah. So that's my first good.
Yeah.
My second is there's a moment where Deputy Charlie, just a 30-foot giant. Oh no.
I love Deputy Charlie.
Oh, yeah, I love him, and I don't, which also might come up in a moment as well. He's an
Same.
unintentionally funny character. Some of
Yeah.
the things he actually says are like tragically awful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the last good is probably the one true good here. The poster art for this movie
Yeah.
is genuinely classic. That's what made this movie all of its money and gave it its notoriety. It
Yeah.
wasn't the movie; it was the poster
No,
art.
right. This movie would have been just a tank job had there
Yeah.
been an internet around at the time where people could actually like share their thoughts on the movie. But yeah, real big bait and switch with that poster art.
Yeah. Oh yes. I think in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Hey Oz, what are your two bads?
Well, I mentioned as one of my good was the A effort out of all the guys. One of my bads is the extra credit effort out of all the ladies. I'm not to say that they were bad performances, because they were fine, but when the camera lingered a little bit longer than necessary, we saw a lot of like telenovela level acting in this out of the ladies. You know, Nancy Archer, which I know is the character's name. I've already switched my notes. But like she was over dramatic.
Allison Hayes
was she was milking it for all it's worth in a few parts. You know, Honey Parker's actress wasn't that much better.
Yeah, Yvette Vickers.
Yeah, the nurse with her. I'm gonna really ramp up for this, and it just But you know what? It works in a movie like this because it's a goofball movie anyway. But on top of it, it's like, yeah. So that's my first bad. My second one is Deputy Charlie as comedic relief.
Yeah. Oh God. I was gonna bring him up if you weren't.
Yeah, as the comedy relief in this movie, he's just awful. Like, just
Harry is that Honey Parker stashed at the motel. What at all?
Yeah. Just the gee golly, everyone. It just.
Different conversations with the female police dispatcher. Calls her sweetie, calls her baby.
Yeah. It's just, it's so demeaning, and it's just, Deputy Charlie. That's my second bad. What do you got?
Oh, there's so many bads to this movie, but I'm gonna start with this is just a moment that I noticed as I was watching. It's like, how did they include that in a cut of this movie? So it's Harry and Nancy, and they're at Nancy's place, and she's trying to convince him, like, I saw this giant. And he's drinking. He has a glass in his hand, and at one point, the actor is talking into the glass, like distorting his voice as he's responding to her. Like, did they not notice that?
Well, like, apparently not.
So, yes,
yeah.
So the editing choices in this movie were less than be desired. Although, who knows? Maybe they only did one take. Yeah,
it's
don't
true.
know.
They only had so much. That's where the premise of this movie came from. We only have so much film and a giant paper mache hand.
Like, yeah, well, I mean, those were real diamonds. So,
yeah, the diamonds were legit.
Yeah, 90% of the budget was just for the diamonds.
Yeah, but we could only afford one spool of film.
Yeah,
so don't screw this up.
Yeah, and my second bad, and this is more of a real one, is just men like Harry, gaslighting, entitled, self-victimized. Ugh.
I would like to think that Glenn Guglia from was based on Harry Archer.
Yes. Yeah. There's not a big leap between them.
No.
Yeah. So that's my second bad. Oz, what's your one and only? Huh.
Well, I have two. My
Uh
first one, and this was just my quick pre-huh. It's how did the giant fit in that ball? Like
huh.
that's my pre-huh. But my
Lot of grease.
I guess so. My real huh is why was everyone covering for Mr. Archer?
Yeah.
Like
What did they get out of it?
the entire town, including the police.
Mm-hmm.
Like they knew exactly where he was at all times. What was it about Harry Archer, other than just being a man in the 50s,
Yeah.
that made it okay for him to do what he was doing to his wife?
Yeah. Well, I was debating whether to use this honestly as a good, a bad, or a huh.
Uh-huh.
But at one point, the sheriff, he kind of appeases Nancy because after he's done talking to her, and this is early in the film, she's in her hysterics overseeing the giant. He tells the deputy Charlie that, like, well, she's our biggest taxpayer,
Yeah.
and so like
Oh
he's
yeah.
like he's validating what she's saying, even if he doesn't agree with it, just because, well, I mean, she's basically paying our salary, so
I
I
forgot
gotta play
about that.
nice.
Yeah, because it's when they went back out to the desert to look for the satellite,
Mm-hmm.
and Charlie was like, "Why are we even out here?" She's like, "Well, she's our
Yeah, she's our financer."
right, so we better do what she says."
Yeah.
Ugh. What's your huh?
My huh is, why don't people call dumb mistakes boners anymore? Pulled a real boner.
I think you should bring that back.
Should I? I'll again. I work at a high school, so I think I'll bring it up there to see how the kids respond.
I think so.
Mhm.
I think, and yeah, just slip it in there. Like I
Yeah.
tried to bring Rad back a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
I think you're onto something here. We
Yep.
need to go back further.
Yep.
Kids have
Well,
heard of Rad. They haven't thought of boner in that
now I'll
regard.
be like, hey kids, I spilled a little coffee on myself in the drive-in, pulled a real boner, huh?
Yeah, Mister, look at me.
Yeah. How many boners have you pulled today?
Good Lord, big boner over here. All these mistakes I'm making,
All these mistakes. Yep.
including that one.
Yes. Oh, that's why people don't call it that anymore.
Put me in the booby hatch.
Yep. Lock me away.
I'm a boob. Yeah.
Yep, so
I think
that's
you
my
should.
huh.
You should bring that back.
I will bring it back, starting with today's youth.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, I'd maybe start in the neighborhood just to
Yeah.
see, workshop at local.
Yeah. Particularly, parents with small kids. Hey
Yeah.
kids.
Or, maybe workshop it a little bit at home and then like really go public with it, like at the community pool this summer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like I dropped my hot dog on the way back. Hey kids, I pulled a real boner.
Like,
Anybody want to grab my hot dog off the ground?
Call me Mr. Butterfingers.
Mr. Butterfingers.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back.
Brush up your resume.
Yep.
Like-
and my legal team.
And that one too. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Because to not do so would be a real boner.
Yeah. Well said. I got that one.
Oh, well, that wraps up Kaiju movie month.
It certainly does.
Yes, that puts a wrap on Kaiju movie month.
Save the best for last.
That's true. What did we say? You'd say probably 300 to 400 feet of villainy this month.
I'd say so.
More than that.
I think more than
Pacific Rim. Yeah,
yes,
more than that.
Yeah, Pacific Rim was a couple thousand.
Yeah, I'd say we've probably a half mile worth of kaiju we covered this month.
At least.
So that's cool. This week's being the smallest of the kaiju.
Yes, only
but also
50
the
feet.
shortest movie. Had it been longer, she probably would have gotten.
She would have gotten tall. That's how it
Mhm.
works. The longer
Yeah.
the movie, the taller the kaiju.
That's true. That makes perfect sense. What do we got for next week? What theme do we have for next month?
Yeah. We are switching gears from kaiju, so height-based movies,
Mhm.
to punctuation-based movies. More
Mhm.
specifically, next month's theme is questionable movies.
Yeah,
In which
are these movies?
yeah, are these movies in which the title of the movie must end in a question mark,
Or at least pose a question.
yes, or there must be a question in title. Yes,
Yeah. And so what is our inaugural
yes.
go to?
Oh,
What's our introduction to next
yes,
month?
we're coming out sprinting here, Oz.
Mm-hmm.
We are going back to 1988 with a movie that I adored as a kid and I love even more as an adult,
Yeah.
and that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Love this movie.
Which I read in the trivia does not end in a question mark because it was believed to be bad luck for a film.
Okay.
Because that was originally my and then I read it in the trivia. I'm like, oh well,
that makes
there
sense.
goes
Yes.
my
Yeah, movies that whose titles ask you a question.
Yeah, so Who Framed Roger Rabbit will be our kickoff for next month.
Mm-hmm.
You guys could find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon link down below as well if you'd like to join.
Join the ranks.
Join the ranks. But yeah, fun month. Right, I think we got another fun month ahead of us, and
I'm trying to get cousin Michelle to join the Patreon army. I saw her yesterday. Go ahead.
No, I was like, she's got the extra income to handle.
Oh yeah, she does. She was telling me, like, does it count if Aaron goes to Patreon subscriber Aaron A goes to the full membership price, and then she like tags along? Does that count? Well, I mean, either way, it's an extra $3.
It's the same whether whether you guys split 6 or each pay 3.
Or each pay 3, and it adds up to 6.
Yeah. Do you want half a dozen or 6? Like both.
Yeah.
So, but no, we need to add another name on there. We've been at 6 for a while. So.
Well, she's like, how do I come on the show? It's like, give us $3 a month, and then you can come on.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
More than that if you want. I don't care. So.
Yeah, she can tag along as often as she wants. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, questionable movies for next month for another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks. I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you guys next week with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.